Hi, all. Welcome to Fireside. Apologies for some technical difficulties today, um, but welcome to Fireside. I hope everyone's doing well today. We have a few announcements I want to go over first. First off, we have maintained around $15,000 in weekly network fees. The participation rate is still over 50% at 50.1% today. And the estimated usage of the network is increasing. The 50.1% participation rate has the inflation rate decreasing. So for folks who don't know, the Discord is where everything in our community happens. So please scan the QR code and jump into the community and join everybody for all the amazing things that they're doing and that you'll see today. Additionally, if you're interested in real-time video AI and our builder, we have the Daydream API that is now live. So you can scan this QR code to get on that waitlist and eventually get access to the Daydream API. So we have a few sections today. First, we have a role transition announcement from myself. We have an update from Foundation. We have an update from Daydream, and then finally an update from Streamplace. So update on me. I'll be joining the Livepeer Foundation as community lead. Super excited to be joining the foundation team. It's been a transition, so super excited to be finally announcing it to everybody. So I'll be working with Rich, Rick, and everyone else on the foundation team. So not much will be changing in terms of my role, but just wanted to announce that change. So now you see on my tag, Livepeer Foundation. All right. Welcome up, Rich.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having us, N, or me, N, and yeah, welcome to the other side, the Livepeer
Thank
Foundation. So
you.
super happy to have you on board. Before we dive in, also everyone who's been tuning into Fireside knows N, but that we have another new joiner as well, which I'd like to highlight. We have an amazing human that goes by the name of Lizzie Adowu. And yeah, super excited to have her on board as marketing lead. So we'll be doing a
Hey.
more formal announcement on behalf of the Livepeer Foundation in the next couple of days. Yeah, super excited to integrate Lizzie into the community and to get some amazing content out about the Livepeer project and everything that comes with it. So thank you, Anne, and yeah, welcome to yourself and welcome to Lizzie.
And one note, Lizzie's probably going to do a formal introduction next week. So on next week's Fireside. All right, I'll drop down. Take it away.
Awesome. Great. Well, super excited to jump in. We've already had one big announcement with some amazing new joiners. There's also some more coming next week. So super excited to dive into that. Today, I'm going to just do a quick overview of what we already discussed during the water cooler, which is our updated pre-proposal for the transformation SPE. So let's hop right in. So just to kick things off, for those of you who don't know, the mission of the Livepeer Foundation is to steward the strategy, ecosystem growth, and core development of the Livepeer project. We really see the foundation as a vehicle for ecosystem participation. We saw that with our first initiative that we ran called with advisory boards, which looked across growth, network, markets, and governance, and tried to get more ecosystem voices involved with what we should be prioritizing as an ecosystem, both now but also in the long run. Next slide. And as a culmination of all of that work done by advisory boards, for those of you who don't know, the advisory boards went through a process of really defining the problem space of those 4 different areas and coming up with some strategic pillars for how we can approach each one of them. Then there were some shorter-term tactical recommendations published by these advisory boards, again within their specific area: growth, governance, markets, and network development. And what then happened was the foundation took all of these different recommendations and created work streams out of them, which we believe are critical to the future success of the Livepeer project. From that, we then took a stab at coming up with a new strategy to accelerate the Livepeer ecosystem into its next chapter, working alongside core entities such as Livepeer Inc. And working on Daydream and a load of SPEs, special purpose entities, which are funded by the Livepeer on-chain treasury. And we called this this strategy, next slide, Surge. It was the obvious choice is now with Daydream achieving and Livepeer Inc. achieving the early signs of some product market fit within the real-time video AI community, and with a high density of talent within the Livepeer ecosystem and new capital and existing capital ready to deploy on the Livepeer network. We really wanted to use this opportunity to surge. Next slide. And we saw that this new strategy needed strategy and funding. So we took all of those recommendations from the advisory boards, and to fuel this next chapter, the foundation put forward a proposal called the Transformation SPE, and we originally posted the first pre-proposal last week, and the community response was awesome. There was a lot of feedback that came in from all different sides that we listened to, and we have decided, next slide, we incorporated all of these different suggestions that the community has put forward, and actually released yesterday released a new pre-proposal that we're super excited about. We really listened to what the community had to say, or at least tried to, and came up with some clearer work streams. We actually had 9 work streams initially. We've condensed that down to 3, which is largely in line with the advisory boards, so focused on capital markets, on core network development, and around builders and ecosystem growth. And these work streams really prioritize key deliverables that we want to focus on. We've also increased focus on SPE coordination over direct ownership. So rather than trying to do everything under the foundation, we've decided to really try and work with other SPEs, these special purpose entities such as the AI SPE, Cloud SPE, seeding new SPEs as well, which we'll come on to in later firesides. And we also tried to give more clarity around how the foundation is going to operate, particularly around RFP processes and transparency into how the core SPE will actually not fund the foundation core team, but be routed back to the community and to ensure that other contributors can benefit from the SPE as these special purpose entities were originally intended. And we also reduced the budget. So we actually cut the budget by 65%. And then now we're asking for quite a lean 300K USD from the on-chain treasury, which is actually, we believe, quite a small amount to execute on quite a lot over the next 4 months. But again, because we're looking at SPE coordination, we really want to ensure that there's on-chain treasury funding for other SPEs that will work with and be coordinated by the foundation. Next slide. And as I said, we published this yesterday. If you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the pre-proposal, and we really put out a request for comments until the end of Thursday. We believe that we've incorporated a lot of the feedback that we had before, and so this is a short period of time, but I think an effective period of time that we hope to then publish on chain. Given that, hoping that there's no red flags, we will then look to publish on chain later this week, or at latest early next week. Next slide. And this is an exciting moment because we've been talking a lot within the foundation, and really we want to focus on shipping and continuing to ship both for the next four months, but really into the future, and to have these strategy sessions through advisory boards on a less regular basis, but to make them impactful and working alongside existing work streams that are really shipping already. So we have those 3 work streams that I mentioned before: increasing value, accelerating new use cases, and upgrading core network and protocol. Super excited to get going. We have an awesome core foundation team, which is growing, as we mentioned today. And then the SPE will be able to route funding back to other core contributors within the Livepeer ecosystem, new and existing, to fuel new areas. Next slide, and I think final slide. So yeah, thank you in advance for your feedback. We've already had 5 or 6 comments on the pre-proposal. Please do go away, read it. It should take 10 to 15 minutes if you read the first one. And we would love to hear from you, even if it's a show of support. It doesn't have to be necessarily feedback in terms of questions or ideas, but fully welcome any questions or feedback of any kind. That's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Rich, and great job. Super excited to be on Foundation with you and others. And I think you really took the feedback in and made a really great second proposal. So excited to see the community vote on that, and hoping for the positive.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. We're optimistic. We've had some great response from the community, and that's the exciting thing, is that there's a lot of people that want to get behind the vision and are willing to speak up and push back at times, as well as obviously showing a lot of support to move forward. So super excited to get going.
Thank you so much. So the last note on the proposal is, again, like Rich said, scan the QR code. Please put your comments in. We want to hear from everybody and continue that community conversation. And I think that, like Rich had mentioned, this is the beauty of Web3, the beauty of crypto, is that we can have this on-chain treasury where everyone's a stakeholder who is, participating in the network. So it's all working as planned. And that's the exciting part of it. All right. Up next, we have Doug from Inc. to go over Livepeer AI. Welcome, Doug.
MGM. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll take it away.
Awesome. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Doug Tikanik, one of the co-founders of Livepeer Project, and I'm the CEO of Livepeer Inc. Livepeer Inc. Once upon a time was one of the original builders and core contributors to the network, but now that we have over I think 12 different entities in the ecosystem and SPs all contributing, far more decentralized, and really excited that the Livepeer Foundation was recently formed to steward the sort of project forward and all the public goods contributions to make sure the project and network are successful. And over at Livepeer Inc., we're a big contributor to all of that, but we're primarily focused on onboarding demand onto the Livepeer network. So building the products and businesses and go-to-market motions that will bring a lot of usage to this network, a lot of fees to the network. And those who have been following along know that our big bet and big initiative to onboard demand is to make sure that we can be the leading infrastructure for real-time AI video. Thinking about the future of video and how AI is impacting all of that, but it requires a lot of GPU compute. So we've been building products in that space and executing early go-to-market to bring that demand on the network. So next slide. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We've covered this in the past, but the main product that we've been building lately is called Daydream. And it's essentially, it aims to be the home for real-time AI video and world models when it comes to open source on the internet. And we've had a couple of exciting releases lately. We released an API, which is the world's first hosted stream diffusion platform. Stream diffusion is the most popularly used model in creative real-time AI. We've released a playground where people can try this out and tune all the knobs and bells and whistles and get creative about what they can do with this. And then when they want to actually build this into applications and experiences, they can use the API. And one of those early builders, it comes from a project called Touch Designer. It's a leading creative tool for creators. and they've integrated the API to offer stream diffusion to all their users, and it uses the Livepeer network under the hood to power the compute for that. So we're aiming at massively increasing the amount of fees flowing through the network, and so far it's beginning to work nicely. So good news, we have a waiting list for the API access on this product, and I want to talk about what we can do to get that demand on the network, open up the wait list, leverage more GPUs from our orchestrators, keep their GPUs busy, keep the fees flowing. And I just want to give a little preview of what's to come on that front. Next slide. So, as I was saying, Daydream launch, as of just a couple of weeks ago, was released across those three products. It has utilized a lot of the available AI capacity on the network. And at moments, it's actually hit capacity or approached full capacity of what's known to be available on the network when it comes to being able to run these real-time AI models. So I'm talking about the higher end GPUs, like the 4050 or the 4080s, 4090s and 5090 GPUs. As a result of being really close to this limit, but actually having a long wait list of hundreds of users that want access to the API and Touch Designer plugin, and just doing bigger launch campaigns and marketing activations around the playground itself, we've had to be a little limited and slow in the rollout here. If there's no capacity available, people won't be able to use these applications. The network won't succeed, and so we're actually limited by supply, which I know is a different state than we've had on the network for a long time when we were focused on transcoding and we had hundreds or even thousands of sort of the low end consumer grade and mining GPUs available for transcoding. And even though we were powering millions of minutes of video, it just didn't require that many. So a lot of orchestrators felt like they had their GPUs sitting idle and they weren't busy and they weren't earning fees according to their potential. And now that we're shifting a lot of focus over to the AI side, I know that many of the orchestrators have played around with these higher end GPUs. They have a couple running. They've stepped up. They want to see these running and busy and earning fees at capacity. And the response that we've heard is, "Hey, we're ready to bring that capacity when the fees are flowing." Right. And there's been a little bit of a chicken and the egg in that to get to the Daydream launch, we wanted to ensure there was enough production capacity and needed to source some GPUs and learn to operate them ourselves so that we could get them tuned and optimized and performing really well to actually power the Daydream API and production applications at scale. Right. And I think we've gone through that step. We've run up against the capacity that was sourced. And now it's time for these two worlds to come together and the rubber to hit the road, and for these jobs to be flowing on the public network. So there's a little bit of a preview. I just want to hit that a lot more details around this plan are going to come out and get communicated later this week. And we hope the fees and the jobs to the public network will begin flowing very early next week. But I did want to sort of give a hint and highlight that the plan here is to, so that we can do these larger marketing campaigns, so that we can do a real launch around Daydream, so we can actually, bring this product and API to the market. And we need to make sure there's enough capacity available for that. The way that we want to approach that is we want to essentially reserve the needed capacity of at least 30 more 4090 GPUs on the network or 5090s by ramping up the combination of test traffic and production traffic to that level very quickly. Hopefully by early mid next week, and commit to sort of paying for ongoing consistent jobs at that level for the next couple of months at minimum. And what that'll allow our orchestrators to do is to actually dedicate their capacity, put it on the network, compete to earn those jobs, compete on price discovery to win the work, so we can understand what the network is gonna charge, and more info to come around the fee level that we'll pay at. And we believe as long as those GPUs are occupied and earning fees and humming, they'll be available on the network. And then as sort of Daydream production capacity comes on through API usage, through launches, through the playground usage, that can leverage this reserved capacity on the network, and the test traffic will be dialed down. The production traffic will replace it. And really want to find and determine if this is an effective mechanism, and our existing orchestrators, get resourceful and source the GPUs that they need through, buying and owning, or accessing it through, virtualization services or cloud services, or third-party GPU providers. And I just know that that's like the type of activity that our amazing orchestrator community is hungry for and really excellent at. And hopefully this like commitment of fees, over a couple of months will really let us get some like market price discovery and see the market dynamics in terms of supply. Um, Last thing here, again, more details to come. I think that staking is a really effective tool to reward those who are really helping power this network effectively and are showing up to do the work. And I think in the recent past, it's been hard to sort of correlate high performance with staking action and getting stake on these nodes. I think we want to be looking at the performance and capacity provided by the different node operators on the network. I think we want to be encouraging all parties involved, including Livepeer, to be staking towards those who are really stepping up, adding capacity, and performing well on the performance leaderboards. And this could be a good opportunity to really make sure that those who are showing up and helping the network here feel like they're being rewarded not just by the fees they're earning, which hopefully cover costs, but also by their increasing LPT access through their reward cuts and whatnot. So stand by for more. Definitely excited about this program and the potential, and there should be more news coming out this week. So thank you very much.
Amazing. Some incredible updates, especially with the capacity comments, Doug. How are you feeling about, you set this vision a number of months ago. We're already hitting this pretty big precipice point. Yeah, just tell me how you're feeling about it.
I feel good that it's validating about how much compute is actually required for
All right.
AI video and real-time AI video, right? Like the market is hot. You have startups raising hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, even, all to spend
Mm-hmm.
on compute for media-centric AI.
Right.
And just the fact that even an early quiet beta launch that isn't really promoted to the masses can hit the capacity of GPUs on the network is a strong signal that this
Right.
will be a lot more lucrative, a lot more valuable for our node operators on the network than maybe purely transcoding, where we power millions of minutes across like some of the world's top streaming apps. But we've driven prices down so far. It uses so little compute. These GPUs can do 10 streams at a time, et cetera.
Right.
It's very hard to grow that big enough where the fees alone will justify, let's say, the valuation of the market cap of the Livepeer network. And this AI compute is a real opportunity to do that. So a lot of work to do to prove not just that it uses a lot of compute, but it's used in use cases where people can afford to pay. The business models make sense. The market is early, but excited about the bet on the future.
Awesome. And if people want to follow the progress, be a part of it, jump in, where can they do that? What's the best place for them to tap in there?
Yeah, so I noticed that the Livepeer call, so definitely join the Livepeer Discord, but you'll discover pretty quickly we have a great community, second community called Daydream, and that's where all the leading like researchers and AI creators are gathering to try out the latest models, show off their outputs, push the research forward. And we want that to be a leading community, and that whole community, as they're using all these technologies, will be using the products and tools that use the Livepeer network under the hood as the infrastructure. So that's how all these dots connect.
Awesome. And if you guys want to do that, discord.gg// daydream live is where you can get that invite. We don't have a QR code for that today, but again, thank you so much, Doug. Always a pleasure to have you, and catch you next time.
Yep, thanks.
Amazing. Yeah, and just reflection from me. Oh no, stream click. Welcome up, Eli. But I just wanted to last comment on what Doug had said. Sorry, I thought I had reviewed the slides before. Apologies on my end. But as Doug had mentioned, like this has been a big effort from Inc. Something I've been involved in. I was, part of generating the first part of the community on the Daydream side. So, it is just getting started, and now is the time to get in. We're still early in this process. So please, please, please jump in. There's so many opportunities on that, and from open source research and to building businesses and apps on the Daydream API. So definitely bring entrepreneurial and creative spirit there, and it will be well placed. All right. Welcome, Eli. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
Accommodating my, as of last night, I was triple booked for this time slot. So thanks
Oh
for
my,
accommodating
popular.
me at the end of the call here.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time to join and to update the community and the large audience at Livepeer on Streamplay. So I'll let you take it away.
Sure thing. Yeah, so I'm Eli. I'm working on Streamplot E here apparently, but yeah, lots been happening on our end. And yeah, can I control this, or can I just ask you for the next slide? Perfect. Yes, thank you. So this was the big news. We launched Skylight Social. So if you open Skylight Social, which is to remind people, the second biggest app in the sort of at protocol Blue Sky ecosystem, it has Streamplace live streaming right at the start there, and we did a little event at Friends of Livepeer, the Lot Radio, that went really well, and got a bunch of folks there. There's been a lot of Livepeer people pinging me. It's like, oh, is it happening? Is it going? So Skylight is, this was them launching the feature in their app. They've opted to do like an invite only, like sort of wait list for sort of slowly bringing their users on to live streaming. But everything is working really, really well from a technical perspective. It's just now on their team to start to actually roll that out to their users. So really, really happy with how that went. That also means we sort of have now in production. This is a React Native library for including Streamplace live streams inside of React Native apps. We've got two other integrations in progress. One is a Flutter app. So this will be another piece for getting that out. For sort of the other big framework in the cross-platform app development ecosystem, and one that's working on native Swift UI. So we've got all these partnerships happening, and they're all going to result in, this is the React Native library, is going to be Flutter library, and a Swift UI library. So really want it to be as easy. With the goal here is to make it stupid easy to, like, oh, I want live streaming on here. Oh, okay, well there's a Streamplace library. It makes it super very, very easy to get started. Next slide. This is another one. I mentioned that this was landing, but this has now landed. So this is something we promised for a long time and never were able to get around to, but we've shipped it now. So Go Livepeer, the full Go Livepeer node is now embedded within Streamplace. All of the Go Livepeer command line parameters that this audience is pretty familiar with are available sort of in a sort of namespace here. So Livepeer, you do -- Livepeer gateway to boot up a gateway, and then you've got all of these sorts of all the different parameters that you can enter into here. So we've got that running. It's tested. It's used in production, and looking really, really good here. Very consistent with Streamplace's philosophy of trying to get everything in one container that you can. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, no, they're. I've been working really closely with the Skylight co-founders there. They're great, and hope things are going really well for them, I think. So yeah, this is great. Though in some ways this is also sort of just like the tip of the iceberg on the like depth of integration that I want to go through here. So this is sort of, the software is now packaged, which is awesome. But we also will want to make it. I'm also very interested in getting people running their own Streamplace nodes. and enabling syndication between those nodes. And as part of that, you want to be able to really easily get started with it. So interested in building like a user interface for funding your deposit and reserve. Really just like opening up Livepeer transcoding to a community that hasn't really, to folks that aren't necessarily like super intuitive on how you would like spin up a wallet and upload it next to the server and that sort of thing. Next slide, please. So yes, I really quickly threw this together, so I've just got some text here, but what our next big feature push, which is very exciting, is syndication. So this is talking about, I've talked sort of this big game about how Streamplace is this new form of decentralized public broadcast that we're working on. But that's been largely theoretical until now because we can handle all of our users with one big server that I spun up at stream.place. But what we're working on right now with the good folks at Number Zero, make the IRO library, is having Streamplace nodes replicating streams to each other. If you run a Streamplace node, you can say, oh, I like this stream, and you press the syndicate button, and now you're rebroadcasting it and contributing and that sort of thing. So really sort of interesting, novel broadcast experience that it doesn't think exists a lot. We're also working on integrated metadata. This is like pretty close to ready to ship, but we're literally we're updating the front end to a new it's just like new CSS stuff that's in the way. But so this is you can identify like content warnings in the stream that that get baked right into the segments of your live stream. You can identify the licensing information. Is anyone allowed to broadcast your stream freely? Do you want them to delete it after 5 minutes? That sort of thing. All of that gets baked directly into the stream. So I'll have screenshots for that really soon, but we're like in the process of finalizing the front end. This is also, I think, very interesting for the Livepeer community. And this is something I've been working with the network advisory board on, like what the next generation of the Livepeer signing flow and like segment format could look like. So we're sort of planning out the first versions of this, but very interested in having this also be a way you can say, hey, this is I took in a 1080p video and output a 240p video, and here's my signature, and I sort of assert that I did a good job on all of this. And you could even see in a live stream, you could see, oh, this stream was sponsored by this orchestrator or transcoded by this orchestrator, and because of all of that in the metadata. So I think there's a really interesting way to sort of like make the Livepeer network more visible to streamers and to users. The final thing we're working on is bespoke apps. So this has always been the idea, is we're not just shipping our app to the App Store and Play Store. Our pitch to like somebody like a big Twitch streamer is don't switch from Twitch to Streamplace, switch from Twitch to your own app, have your own presence on iOS and Android. Have a direct relationship with your fans. And we've got our first two people lined up that are interested in us making such a thing. The first is the Lot Radio, as mentioned, and the other is a creator named Sharpie, who's from has a lot of background in like the fighting game community and a lot of followers on that. So we are with those two, we're sort of prototyping the first two sort of white labeled branded Streamplace apps that we'll be building and maybe eventually operating as a service that we would distribute these to the App Store and Play Store. So that is it. Many updates, many things going on. Appreciate and giving me the chance to show that off.
Wow, not disappointed at all. Congrats on all the shipping you've done, major announcements, major accomplishments. How does it feel to be one step closer to the vision that you kind of set out for?
Oh, it feels really, really, it feels amazing. Obviously, like the Skylight launch is a big milestone. The syndication is going to be the really big one for me, because that's like, we've built the foundation and everything is in place. So it's not just some other website where you can stream videos on, right? But no, actually, it is this new kind of thing that we're trying to invent here. So that's what I'm really, that's going to ship in probably the next month, and that's what I'm like really, really excited for.
Amazing. Well, incredible work. Thank you again for showcasing it, and we'll
course.
see you on the next update, maybe.
Thanks, Zen.
Okay, bye. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the show, folks. I want it to be very clear to everybody, throughout these firesides, how much is happening in the Livepeer ecosystem, how many different things are in progress, in flight, and how many incredible innovations are coming out of our community. So again, here's the call. If you're interested in real-time video AI, video infrastructure, streaming, any of the above, building a more decentralized video infrastructure world, the community is the place where you can start. And this is to our Livepeer Discord. And of course, you can always navigate to the Daydream Discord through that if you want. But again, as Rich had mentioned, if the proposal passes, there's going to be $300,000 in USD available for RFPs around the different pillars that he had mentioned. And like Doug had said, there's a growing open source real-time video AI community called Daydream, subsequent API and Playground built by Inc. that are growing and just getting started. So if you're a researcher, a creative, a builder, and you're interested in the frontier of open source real-time video AI, Daydream is the place to go for that. And then like Eli had mentioned, building this decentralized streaming stack and getting in a huge, huge app for the live streams is pretty incredible. So again, we're still just getting started. We're still just getting cooking. So please, now is the time to jump in. Don't join when it's too late. Hype in early. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining this week's Fireside, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, all.